Hey y'all, it's your girl Peachy, and this is Okay Ladies the Show. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Okay Ladies channel, and just make sure you guys follow us on all platforms. Make sure you subscribe so you can know when my new videos are being posted. Right now, I'm just super excited to be here with you guys. I know it's been a long time since we last talked, and since then, I've just been on a road to self discovery and self mastery. I know it's been a calling placed on my life to voice my opinion and speak to you guys about certain things, and I just really felt that I could not do that until I truly knew myself. So I've been taking these last few months to heal from some of my traumas and just get to know myself better as a whole, you know. And now that I have done that, I am back and ready to talk to y'all. So, you know, I just want to be, well, how can I say? I just want to be a blessing to you guys, and I want to help you guys on your healing process as well. It's a lot of stuff that we have all gone through and need to get through to become our divine self and reach our divine calling. So right now I just want to explain the name a little bit because it's called Okay Ladies because it's for us, you know, by us. You know, I have a whole movement that is for women, just empowering them, the Bag Chaser Barbie Gang movement, and it's just to empower the woman. In this world, a lot of times we are, our opinion is not valued, and we're thought of as not as intelligent or not as valuable as our male counterparts. And I just want you guys to know that's not true. Everybody has their role, and once you learn yourself and find yours, then you know you can nobody tell you anything different. Ladies, you have a voice. It is not to be muted. Don't let them mute you, sis. You know, you got a voice. It's powerful, it's beautiful. So use it. You know, you have strength. It's powerful, it's beautiful, so use it. Now, saying that, this is not to exclude any men because, brothers, we need you. You know, we respect you, we honor you, and we value your opinion. And we just ask that you do the same for us because to solve a lot of these problems in our community, we have to do it as a whole. You know, I see a lot of people always saying, oh, what a woman should do or what a man should do, and this, that, and the third. But you cannot solve these problems without addressing them as a whole. So when you say what a woman should do, you also have to say what a man should do, you know. And that is how we're going to solve some of these problems by coming together. So in this particular video, that's actually what I want to talk about is the some of the issues that we have in the Black community as far as uniting and being one, and then relationship issues as well, because it's a lot of toxic masculinity and, you know, even toxic femininity, and we have to move past that in order to do better as a whole. We definitely want to work towards having more households that are in order. You know, we want the man and the woman in the house raising the children, and for some reason right now it's like at an all-time low in the Black community, and it's for a multitude of reasons. It's been set up like that systematically because they want us to fail. They don't want us to thrive as a community, so they divide and conquer, and that's the issue. So basically I'm gonna start off by saying, when you are addressing an issue or a problem that's going on, the first thing you have to address is yourself. So you have to heal yourself so that you can be good for others. And a lot of us have been through traumas in our life. A lot of the stuff that happened to us, we don't understand why, and we still haven't come to grips with it, or it's left us with anger, animosity, hatred towards the same sex or the opposite sex, you know, just towards our people. And that's not okay. You know, I understand that it's like that for a reason, or something happened to you. But we have to move past that and come to a resolve, on some of those things. So first, you focus on yourself, healing yourself, and then that's when you can move forward into, other people and how they affect it. So I want all the ladies to know that, every man is not the person who wronged you. Every man is not a reflection of your abuser. Every man is not a reflection of, the person who abandoned you or left you, or, have you raising kids on your own. Every man is not that. So you have to remove that from your mind. Men, a lot of us have been damaged. A lot of y'all have been damaged and hurt by y'all mothers. Every woman is not your mother. Every woman is not the one who raised you, who hurt you, who left you feeling these ways. So you have to deal with those issues first and foremost on your own. You have to deal with whatever issues you have towards your mom, towards your grandmama, towards your baby moms. You have to deal with that first. You can't go projecting it on to other people, because that is not every woman. That is not every woman. And ladies, it's not every man. You have to realize that some of the energies that you're putting out there is the reason why you're attracting some of the things that you're attracting. And until you heal from certain traumas and hurts and stuff, it's going to be a cycle. So work on healing yourself first. Learn yourself first, because we not always innocent. A lot of situations we play a role in, and you have to self-reflect. You have to come to grasp with what you did wrong, where you went wrong, what you allowed, and that type of stuff is going to help you in the healing process, and then help you proceed to doing better. Once you have healed yourself, then you could address other things, and come to the other sex and say, here's what I need, and come to a resolve. Like, here's what I need, here's what you need. A lot of the time I see black women being attacked. This what a woman needs to do. This what a woman needs to do. This what a woman is. This what a woman isn't. This what she should be. And we do that, and we are overcritical of our women. But I see the bar being lowered, for the men. We're not holding our men accountable. And you have to understand that it's easy to give a person what they need when you are getting what you need in return, right? So we have to look at these situations like a give and take type of thing. So I'm gonna speak on one incident. I seen a video of a woman coming to a man, a sister coming to a brother for advice on what she wanted in a man. And he proceeded to disrespect and degrade her, telling her that she is average at best, and what she will and what she won't get out of a man. She's gonna he said, you're gonna die alone, or you're gonna be lonely, or whatever he said. And it was just disrespectful. And then I was reading into some of the comments, and I was seeing how the brothers was agreeing with him, and how a lot of the women was agreeing with him too. And women, sisters, you are a lot of the problem. I'm not gonna lie to you. First of all, you're raising the children, and whether you raising them alone or not, you are raising them. Whether it should be that way or not, it is that way. So you have to raise the children up in a certain way, and it's not okay. Like the men are being taught to not respect the women, and you could just see from the dude's demeanor that he have no respect for women, because she didn't say anything wrong. She was saying what she felt, and instead of him trying to get her to understand with compassion, he was very rude to her and disrespectful. And ladies, you do not have to settle for less. You do not have to settle for less. You can get everything you want. And that's the problem, that they're teaching you that you can't. Don't let them tell you that you can't get everything she wants. She's a woman earning 6 figures. She states that she wants a man earning 6 figures. That's not wrong of her to say that. But I do want to tell the ladies, don't be vain in your search either, because when you get in these men with six figures, most of the time they stuck in their ways. Most of the time they don't have any respect for women. Not saying this is all the time case, but they don't have any respect for women. So don't trade in, you know, or I would say don't count out a brother with, you know, respect and love and the potential to get six figures for somebody who already has it and won't respect you and won't be happy. It's like the grass isn't always greener. You could get you a man, and because sis, you've done it, now you can help him do it. You smart. We know that. We've seen that you have the power to build your own business, and now you earning six figures. You're doing well for yourself, and you want a man who is on the same level as you. Now, it's not an issue to get somebody who is everything else that you want, and then help them reach that other goal. Like, don't be vain in your search, because money is not everything at all. Money is not everything at all. I know these women would rather say, oh, I'd rather cry in a Bentley than in a Honda, or I'd rather cry in Dubai and woo. I'd rather not cry at all. You're not going to make me cry. And if you do make me cry, I'm going to leave. It's just that simple. Like, you're not going to hurt me. You're not going to hurt me. And I don't mean hurt in the sense of like, oh, we're gonna have a little disagreement and all that stuff. It's you know, disagreements gonna come. You're gonna piss me off, I'm gonna piss you off, and that's just it. But we need to be able to communicate effectively. So that means when it's time to speak on a certain topic, that means your ears are open, my ears are open, and regardless if we have two opposing views, we're going to hear each other out. You're not gonna shut me up, you're not gonna cut me off and think that, you know, I'm just gonna shut up and sit down and be there still. That's not the case. So I've been seeing you know, a lot of that lowering of the bar for the men, you know. She's average at best, and he focuses so much on how she looks. Ladies, your looks are not the best thing that you have to offer. Your body is not the best thing that you have to offer. You are intelligent, you have a mind, and that was given to you for a reason. And a lot of people have the wrong ideal of submission. Oh, you don't know how to submit to a man. Submit to a man doesn't mean you lose your voice. You know, submit to a man means that it's an honor. First of all, for me to submit to you, that is an honor, brothers. That's an honor. For a woman to submit to you, that is an honor, and it should be carried as such. You know, then it comes with responsibilities. It comes with responsibilities. So for a woman to submit to you, you know, you have to do certain things to deserve that. You know, she has to be able to trust you, to know that you're going to lead her and her tribe, her children, in the right direction. And how could she do that if, you know, you're untrustworthy, or she can't hold you accountable for your actions? If when she get ready to speak on something, you shut her up. You know, that's not how it works. It's a give and take type thing. You protect me, you care for me, you're trustworthy, and I submit to you. So you can't say a woman should do this without saying what a man must do, you know, or what a man must do without what a woman must do. Yeah, it goes hand in hand. I should do this, and you should do that. Once I do these things, you do this, you know, and not one before the other. It should be like natural. I'm a woman. A woman gets soft in the presence of a real man, and she gets soft when she feels safe. So stop, you know, doing things to make these women feel unsafe, and then expecting them to submit to you. It's because it's like, how can I? That man was so rude. So you just told her she was average at best, you know, and she's gonna die alone because she has standards for her life. Ladies, don't let them take away your standards. You hold your standards, and the man for you will rise to them, and that's just it. And so I noticed, and it's kind of gut wrenching, because I wish it wasn't the way that it is. But we've got so far off the topic, and then a lot of times it's like, oh, time to deflect. What a woman not doing, what a man not doing. Do what you have to do for you. Do what you have to do for you, and then the right things will align themselves in your life. And so, men, we have to understand that you can't be out here cheating, disrespecting, moving how you want to move, and then expecting a woman to submit to you. You know, you can't be out here running wild and not making good decisions and expect your woman to submit. She have to trust you. You know, ladies, don't let the blind lead you. You know, so if he's not worthy of submission, then that is what it is, and you can't blame the woman for that. You have to be worthy of that. You know, the only thing that is free is love. And what I mean by that, the only thing that is free is love. Because a lot of people, they use the love word and then they don't understand the true definition and meaning of love, right? A lot of, it is toxic love out here too. It is. And I'm not going to discredit it because it's love, but it's not healthy, right? And I mean to say the only thing that's free is love, right? So that means the only thing that I have for you that does not require anything at all is love. If I love you, and that is unconditional. True love is unconditional. I want you guys to understand that, because a lot of y'all say y'all love people and then turn around and y'all break up and you're doing mean, spiteful, hateful things, or treating them bad, or you loved them yesterday but now they did something to piss you off, and it's just you don't love them no more. If that's how it is, then you never loved them in the first place. Y'all have to understand, true love is unconditional. And it's the only thing that doesn't require anything. Like, if I love you whether you love me or not. If I love you regardless of how you treat me. You know? Love is free. What you do cannot change my love for you. Now, what you do can change how I deal with you, because my presence requires things. My tolerance requires things. You know, I require certain things for you to be in my presence. I can love you from a distance. That doesn't mean I have to subject myself to your toxicity, or subject yourself to your ways and I'm stuck in my ways and all that stuff. No, I can love you from a distance. But when people say they love somebody and then turn around and do something to harm them, that's not love. That's not love at all. You know, I've been through some traumas that you couldn't imagine. Some traumas that you couldn't imagine. Anybody who I have loved, I still love to this day. I deal with them in different ways now. But love is free. It's the only thing that I have for you for free. Ladies, love is the only thing you should give a man for free. You should not give him your acceptance. You should not give him your forgiveness. You should not give him any of those things, for free. And I'm actually not going to say forgiveness, because that's free too. You could get forgiven for free, because that's for you. That's for you as part of your healing process. But your presence, no. If he's doing some of the things that you say is unacceptable to you, you don't have to continue to bless him with your presence. You have to remember, your presence is a blessing. Your presence is a gift. That's a gift. Your submission, that is a gift, an honor, and it should be treated as such. It should be treated as such. And if it's not, you don't have to hate them. Move on. Love them from a distance. Do stuff that is healthy for you. It's okay to love and to give to people. What you have to understand is it needs to be a balance. So just because you love and you give to someone, that does not mean disrespect yourself. That does not mean forget what your needs because for the next person. You know what I'm saying? You could love them. That's free. Your tolerance, your presence, and all that stuff, it requires things. Okay, my presence requires you to treat me a certain way, how I want to be treated. And I want you to understand that when I say it's not free, it's not a monetary thing. People be so caught up in the worldly stuff and monetary this and monetary that. It's not about that. It's not about that. My presence requires you to give me healthy love. My presence requires you to listen to me when I feel some type of way. My presence requires your respect. That is what you have to pay me for me to give you my presence in return. It's not about money or none of that stuff. You know, and a lot of the women, they are in a state in their life where it's like they've been hurt so many times, they've been torn down, and they was riding and holding men down who had nothing. So now they're at a point of their life where, well, I need this and I need that. And I understand. I understand why it is the way that it is. But that don't make it right. Because at the end of the day, don't sell your soul for no money. Don't sell yourself short for some money. You saying, oh, well, it's going to be like this anyway. A man is just going to be a man and all that stuff. No. You have to stop making excuses. You have to stop making excuses. A man is going to be what you require him to be. Fellas, the same thing. Oh, that's how these bitches is, and woo woo. No. That woman is going to be what you require her to be. Raise your standards. Raise your standards. And your standards shouldn't have nothing to do with a person's financial wealth. I understand you want security and all that stuff, but that's love don't have nothing to do with that. If you base your love, like, okay, you say, oh, I'm gonna base my love, I'm gonna love this type of man, middle class or upper class man. That's the only type of man I can love. That's vain, and you selling yourself short. Because a lot of the times the people who are in those positions, yeah, he might got the money, but do he lack everything else? It's kind of, you gotta weigh your options. You gotta weigh your options. And so, getting back to holding our men accountable, it's like we've been taught to not value ourselves, and we've been taught to not value each other. You know, a man's financial status should not determine how you treat him. A man's financial status should not determine how you treat him, regardless of what you've been through in your past. Heal yourself so you can leave those past traumas at the door. It don't matter what the last broke man did to you. That is not every man. Okay? Fellas, it don't matter what the last whore did to you. That is not every woman. Okay? Heal yourself before you step into a new situation. Take the time to heal yourself, understand yourself, self-reflect. Self-reflect. Notice your flaws and the roles that you play in it, and then work on that to get better. But you have to understand that y'all keep on putting people in these boxes. These bitches like that and these niggas like that, and that's not true. The people who you are attracting are like that maybe because of some energy that you're putting out into the universe. You know? Be truthful to yourself. Learn yourself. Honor yourself. Respect yourself. And then that is what will come to you. That is what will come to you. And then I want to throw this in there too. You know, people like to put on facades. It'd be a whole facade, and I'm a man and this and that, and you know, I'm that bitch. That's what the ladies be saying. And it's crazy because then they'll be like, oh, why is this stuff not going right for me? Or why is this happening to me? And understand that God, the universe, karma responds to the real you, right? So you want these certain things, right? But you have jealousy and envy and hatred in your heart. That is what is going to be responded to. You want to be treated a certain way, but you do mean and evil and malicious stuff. And you might not know why you do it. But that is your true self. And it needs to be fixed and reflected on. Because that is what the universe is going to respond to. Period. You can't want to be trusted, but then be so skeptical of everybody else. Not trust no one else. You can't want to be loved, but have hate and envy in your heart. That's what you're going to attract. What you put out there is what you're going to attract. And you have to understand that the laws of karma is real. The laws of karma is real. What you put out there is what you will get in return. And it might not be instantaneous. All karma isn't instant. Sometimes it takes years. Sometimes your karma don't even come back on you. It come back on the ones you love. And that's what you got to be careful of. The shit that you doing coming back on your baby. The shit that you doing coming back on your mama, your brother, your sister. Stop putting that negativity out. Heal yourself. You have to heal yourself. And people be so quick to jump in relationships without truly knowing each other. Like, a lot of time and stuff will be wasted. Will not be wasted if you got to know the person before you got into a relationship with them. And I'll be seeing that a lot of the times it's the men rushing to get in a relationship. Maybe like this woman trying to trap me and stuff. Dudes, y'all be the ones asking for them kids. Y'all be the ones. Stop lying to yourself. Because y'all go and tell the world that lady trapped you. That lady trapped me with that baby. I didn't want that baby. How could she trap you with something that you gave to her? Ask you that again. How could she trap you with something that you gave to her? It doesn't make sense. Stop lying to yourself. Stop lying to yourself. Get to know you. If you don't know you, you can't know another person. If you don't love you, you can't love another person. Get to know yourself first. Okay? And so then a lot of this stuff will be avoided. So I think it would be smart to know a person first, right? And then have a list of things, right? 5 things. What I need in this relationship. What I need out of a relationship to be able to make it work, right? And everybody is different, so everybody's list is gonna be different. Some men might need a woman who cook and petty stuff, surface level stuff. Some people's list might be a little bit deeper, but right, if I give you my list in the beginning, right, and I say this is what I need to be able to make it work, and you look at the list and you say, damn, I can't do none of that. Be truthful, be honest. I can't do none of that. That would save people so much time. That would save people so much time. That man say he want a woman to cook. And then that's another point too, right? Because okay, say if it is something surface level like that. I want a woman who gonna cook. You don't have to know how to cook right now. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to do that? To learn that? To compromise, what you want. To be able to give that person that. It would save a lot of people a lot of time if you knew who you was dealing with before you hopped into these relationships. You know, it's fun, nice to know somebody, but it don't have to be no rush on it. And a lot of the time it's the men's, I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes it's the woman. But a lot of the times it's the men. I've seen it with my own eyes. Oh, I want you to be my woman so bad. I love you. I want to marry you. Woo, woo, da, da, da. You don't even know this person. Then 4 or 5 months later, the relationship done crumble. It's because you didn't know them. And you said you wanted all these things based off of surface level, right? You seen she was pretty. You seen she was nice. You know, all the surface level stuff. That make you want to marry her? You don't know that lady true values. You don't know what she is. For real. Same thing with the men. Ooh, he got money. You know, the ladies. Oh, he got money. He fly. He this and that. Oh, I love him. I want to be with him. You don't know that he's going to beat you every time you have an opinion. You don't know he might, go upside your head. Stop getting in these relationships without knowing these people. It'll save everybody a lot of hurt, a lot of drama, a lot of pain. You know? Let me see. I know there's so many things I wanted to touch on. Oh, I want to go back to the women who bash other women or who are pro-man. There's nothing wrong with being pro-man, but how you going to be anti-woman and you a woman? That's self-hatred. How you going to be anti-woman and you're a woman? How you going to be anti-black and you black? Know yourself. Love yourself, or you can't love no one else. It's a lot of these mothers, and I don't understand. I don't understand for the life of me, right? A lot of these women, don't hold their sons accountable for their actions. Will not hold their sons accountable for nothing. Oh, my baby can't do no wrong. Oh, this and that and woo woo, excuses. Well, he went through this and he went through that. So what? It don't matter. Everybody been through something. You gonna continue on a negative cycle because you've been through something? That don't make no sense. A lot of these women be hurt and mistreated by men and not loved properly by men, and then raise sons to think it's okay. So just because a man never loved you, right, and never treated you right, that means you're going to teach your son that it is okay to inflict the same type of pain on another woman that you set up and cried about. You know, the same things that you set up and cried about, you're going to teach your son that's okay. That's evil. What? Me being a woman first, me loving myself, right? It would be a disgrace for me to teach my son that it's okay to do some of the same things that I've been hurt by, right? So son, I've been cheated on by these men. I'm so miserable, right? Because misery loves company. That's what it is, right? I'm so miserable. Son, a man with many is a hero. A woman with many is a zero. So you teaching him to whore around. Because that make him the man. When the man back in the day, 30 years ago, made you cry. You're an idiot. You don't love yourself. Sorry, I don't mean to offend you. But, we need to come to grips with it fast. That's ridiculous. My son can't do no wrong. You teaching your kids they can't do no wrong, where it's no consequences to their action. So then when they get faced with consequences, they upset and they angry and they lashing out because nobody never told them right from wrong. Or nobody never told them it was going to be consequences to your actions and you can't do whatever you want to do. It don't make sense. it's so much more I could talk about. It's just some of the things might escape me right now, you know. But I want y'all to understand that this is not a problem with just women, and it's not a problem with just men, because a lot of the women gonna say, "Oh well, I didn't know. Maybe I shouldn't have been having to raise him on my own anyway." You right. You should not have had to do that, but you did. You need to make the best of your situation. You need to make sure that in return, he's not going to make another woman raise his child alone. Okay? You also need to self-reflect, because even though that man who gave you that baby might not been shit and he left you alone to raise that child, right? You picked him. So, you got some fault in this too. It's not all his fault. It's not all his fault. You have to self-reflect and acknowledge the fact that I played a role in this. I'm a problem in it too, and not further the problem. You want your kids to do better for the next generation. We trying to build up our community, build up our households. We don't want them making the same mistakes. And I see a lot of men say stuff like that. You know, well, I went through it. Why should my kid go to private school? I went to public school. You want your son to have to go through the same things that you've been through? You want your children to go through the same things you've been through? No. You're supposed to use your experiences and your lessons in life to prevent some things, them from going through certain things, to prevent them having to deal with that, right? If I teach my son, if I tell my daughter some of the things that I've been through, I know darn well she is going to listen to some of them. Not all of them, but she's going to listen to all of them. And guess what? Some of my stories is going to prevent her from following down the same path as I did. She see me being a single mother of 3. If I tell her, value yourself more. Value yourself more. Make these men value you more, because you don't want to end up raising these children alone. You don't want to end up alone. Hold yourself to a higher standard. You deserve more. If I tell her these stories and I break it down to her, that's going to keep her from doing some of all the same things that I did. But a lot of people in the black community, well, I went through it. Well, my mama beat me. Does that mean it was right? Did it do you any good? Do you have to heal from it? If you have to heal from it, then why would you want your kids to go through the same thing you had to go through? It don't make sense. We got to start thinking. We got to start thinking for real. I'm about to call one of my friends so she could chime in on this topic. Just the black community, us coming together, relationships, masculine toxicity, feminine toxicity. Hello?
Hello.
Hey, Louisa.
Hey.
So we here on the OK Ladies channel, and I just want to get, them to hear some of your opinions too, because we have some of the best conversations. And I'm going to just introduce you to them, because I actually want to talk about our relationship, right? And I want to talk about how in the black community it's kind of frowned upon, or it's kind of, unheard of to be friends with a person who you share, who shares children with a person that you share children with. So I'm gonna give y'all a little introduction. Louisa is my boy's brother's mom. So our children are siblings. And a lot of time in the black community, like, is toxicity is pushed and it's praised and stuff. Like, oh, people think like you can't co-parent, or it have to be some type of animosity between parents, co-parents, and the other parents or stuff like that. It just don't make no sense to me. So we gonna let you chime in, Louisa.
Yes. Hi. Like Christian said, I'm the mother of Eric, who shares his siblings are Zion, which are Christian kids, and we have a same father, the father of our child. And me, like when I say that, people look at me weird. I get the side eye when I'm like, yeah, that's my friend. And in reality, we're more than friends, as I see. We're mothers, and we're like, she's a mother to my son, and I'm a mother to her son. And I feel that when I do share it amongst the Black community, or if I have a friend, they're like, "Oh, you talk to his baby mama," and I'm like, "Yeah, we get along. Like, she be around my son. I would like to, get to know her." So before we even got that far, I think when the way we started off was with the toxicity, like negative conversations about each other. Oh yeah, she's this type of mother, or she's this type of person, which makes it, okay, well, I don't know if I want to trust her. And the same thing on the Christian behalf, like, I don't know if I'm going to trust her around my kids because the way y'all say she's the type of mother she is. So I feel like that's just like growing up in the Black community, we have to deal with that. It's a stigma put upon Black families where we can't get along, we can't co-parent with each other because, oh yeah, that's her man, or however people put it, and her man. And I think that me and Christian, we just have like a similar heart where that it doesn't matter to us that we share the same father. It doesn't matter because it's building a relationship with someone that's going to be around your kids. And who wouldn't want to know who's going to be around their kids? Like, it's unhealthy to not know who's around your kids. And it's hard. I think it's very hard to have a relationship with the other mother. It's hard to have the relationship because you suffer the stigma of other people, or the reflection of other people looking in on the relationship or friendship. And it's always been a narrative that, oh yeah, it's negative. I don't want to push it, but it's negative where the other mother is trying to have conflict with the current girlfriend, or they don't want the father to see the child because they're dealing with someone else. And I feel like in our community, we have to really stop that. We have to change that because that's teaching our kids that are siblings, that are blood relatives, to not get along also. It's not just affecting me and my kid. It's affecting my kids and their relationship, his relationship with his brother. So I feel like that's why I changed, and that's why I changed my perspective on it. That I wanted my son to have a healthy, especially at the time, I only had my son. So the fact that he was having a sibling made me happy because, okay, now he has someone that, he could play with, or that has his back whenever something goes down. So I appreciated it, and I wanted my son to have a strong relationship with him, with his siblings. And I think that's really why, that made me change my perspective and how I view having, being able to talk to you, Christian, was that, I want EJ to have a close connection. And I felt like if we had riffraff between us, it was going to be hard for him to have a good connection with Zaire, or even look at him and Diana. You know, Christian has an older daughter, and my son refers to her as his sister, and no one can tell him anything about it. So, and I love that. I love that. That's how the Black community needs to be. You know, we need to support each other. We need to have these connections. So when we have stuff like black on black crime and stuff, cops killing each other, these kids, like, they can stand up and say, hey, we are how you say that word, Christian, when they're like, we grew up in that situation, but we're different. We grew up where our parents got along, and it shows a different foundation. They're able to function better. Like, it's my son, he loves his brothers. Like, he adores his brothers. And I have a second son too that I recently had. He's only one.
Which is all of their brothers and brother. All of their brothers.
Yeah. Yeah, because we have to learn that I think we came so far from, like, during colonization, we have been programmed to separate. And not only that, like, everyone they push that hate narrative. It's not unity. There's no unity amongst the Black community because there's so much division.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would I had a baby with him, and then you had a baby with him, or we can't get along because you were with him at one point in time, or vice versa.
Hold on, wait, Louisa. Come back a little bit closer to the phone. You starting to get muffled.
Okay. Women would get into it, and then not only women, because I don't want to put the stigma just on women, even men. Like, men, like, when you're dealing with some men, they don't want you to have a healthy, like, co-parent relationship.
Which is
like,
toxic.
If you're co-parenting, yeah, that's toxic. If you know I have a child with this man, obviously I have to communicate with him. Now, yeah, it's certain respect. If he's calling me 2, 3 in the morning, that's very disrespectful. You know, that's disrespectful. That's not a time you can talk to your child. It's not a time you can communicate. We're talking about our child. So that's disrespectful. There's boundaries to it, but it's also understanding. Okay, if you have a kid with this person, you have to communicate. That the father has to be in the kid's life, and vice versa. The mother has to be in the kid's life, just to have so the kid can have a healthy healthy mental, like, growth, so they could be all they can be, you know. So now you have someone in the household that's saying, okay, well, I don't really want you communicating with him, or I don't feel comfortable with you communicating with him. If it's reasonable what they're saying, then okay, you can change it. But if it's, like, not reasonable, it's because, okay, we're talking about whoever, we're talking about the child, and the child is having an issue at school, and we have to communicate about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then your significant other feels some type of way. Oh yeah, I didn't like the conversation or whatever, and it's like, okay, well, what did you like about the conversation? Or is it just the fact that, okay, I'm not yelling at him, or is it the fact I'm not yelling at her, cussing her out? You know, because that's what we're used to in the Black community. What is it? Yelling like, Byron. We're used to that.
Byron!
Yeah, so, like, that's what we're used to. The baby mama coming in acting ignorant and justifying why she could act ignorant or feel some type of way about the new girl. Instead of saying, okay, you have someone new in your life, just don't forget to, you know, treat whoever, your daughter or son, just the same way. Have conversation, but to push a negative, because that's how, like, I feel like that's how we've been programmed.
Yes.
And we've been programmed like that. We have to learn to switch it, unlearn what we learned.
And
so
redirect.
We have to unlearn that and redirect it. And because it's generational curses, like, this is what we're trying to do amongst the black community, to have change, to have unity. This is what we don't have. This is why it's so much division, which started during colonization. It's division. You have people that feel certain type of way about this, certain type of way about this, that we can't come together. It's division in the household, division amongst family. Like, I'm not from Chicago, but I currently live in Chicago. But I used to hear about the stories, how it could be two brothers that share the same mother but different fathers. But because that brother is from this hood and this brother from that hood, they can't associate with each other, or they have to be violent towards each other. And I'm like, that's crazy. But it's all in for programming. So now I'm thinking the brother can't get along. I'm pretty sure the mother didn't get along with the baby mother, the mother of that child. She didn't get along with their mother. So now that it's just generational curses being perpetuated down through the children, and it's not fair. You know, it's not fair to the child. It's not fair to the child that they're not able to show their love for their siblings because the mother feels some type of way about the person the father's dealing with, or vice versa. The father feels some type of way about who the mother's dealing with. And it's not fair. It hurts our children at the end of the day. And to build a better relationship for our kids and for us, that, like, just mentally and physically and emotionally, it's unhealthy to be like that. It's unhealthy for me to be like, every time I see Christian, I gotta turn up my face. I gotta have an attitude, and I have to have something smart to say. Or every time I have to I'm seeing the father, and I'm catching an attitude because he has the mother of his child there, and I don't like her, and I don't have no reason not to like her. There's no reason. Why don't you like her? Why do you feel some type of way about her? Did she do something to you? Did she do something to you personally that makes you not like her? It's like, it's never justified why they don't. It's because, okay, well, she took my man, or however the case may be, and you feel like that, but that don't have nothing to do with her per se. That has something to do with the person you're the person you have a child with, and we have to learn as women, especially women, because we now, which I feel it's kind of backwards, but we now are the head of the household, and we're the head of the household by I'll say it's not by choice. I feel like it's by what we've been taught and how colonization affected us down the line. How it's through slavery. I feel all this stuff stems from slavery that affected us down the line. And we are reenacting stuff that we can change now. We can change this. We don't have to feud with the other mother. We don't have to feud with the baby mama or feud with the girlfriend. We don't have to do that. That's unnecessary. That's hatred being pushed for no reason. And the same thing for the men. You don't have to make the woman that you're dealing with, because she has a child prior to you, feel a certain type of way because you feel, and it's I feel like it may be insecurity, but you have some issues that you have to deal with. You shouldn't make her feel bad because she has a healthy co-parent. She's able to communicate healthy and co-parent with the father of her child. She shouldn't be demonized for that. She shouldn't feel guilty. Okay, I had a healthy conversation about my child with his father. I'm not arguing. I'm not cussing him out. So now I'm getting demonized for, oh, you're on the phone. Why are you laughing with him? Why are you? Okay, my son probably did something funny, or my daughter probably did something funny that made me that we shared and we laughed about it. So I have to be angry. It's like we have to be that angry black woman. You get what I'm saying? It's like no one is when we're not the angry black women, oh, something's wrong. Even amongst our own people, something's wrong. You know, something's wrong with you. Like,
they all dealing with each other. They all dealing with each other.
So there's something wrong with that picture. And in all actuality, it's unhealthy for us not to get along just because. It's not even a reason behind it. And I feel like the men play a role too. They have to be able to, okay, I'm dealing with, this is my girlfriend, or this is my wife to be or fiance, and we have a kid. I'm expecting a kid. They have to. Sometimes it's up to the man. I have to trust the father of my child that he's not going to put my son in no harm's way. So whoever he's dealing with, I have to trust him and be like, okay, I have to trust him enough and say, well, he has to love his son enough to not put his son in a position where he's around someone that's toxic. A woman, because you hear about it. You hear about, oh, the boyfriend that killed the child, and if he wasn't the father, or the girlfriend did something to the child because she wasn't the mother. Like, you have to, at the end of the day, if someone shows you signs that they can mistreat your kid, you have to be aware of that. And that happens because of that toxicity we've been programmed with within our community. So we have to realize that some people will hurt your child just because they don't like the mother, or just because they don't like the father, and that's unfair to the child. It's always red flags. Now, people can choose to, ignore them or choose to see them and address them, but it's always red flags. And I feel like that's where it comes down to either the man or the woman, whoever has custody of the child at that moment, to say, okay, I'm bringing such and such around the child. Mm-hmm. I'm letting you know so you could feel comfortable, so you could know, okay, your child is in safe hands. They're around such and such. If you want to meet them, I feel like that should be something that, if you do have a child and it's with someone else, sit down. If you do have a child and it's with someone else, that you should let the mother of your child or the father of your child know, hey, I'm dating someone right now, or if it's serious, yeah, I'm dating someone right now. I want my kids to meet this person, and I wanted you to meet this person too, because our kids are going to be around them. I feel like this is someone that my kids are going to be spending time with frequently, so I want you to get to know them, so they can know, understand who you are, and so you could get a vibe on them. And it's not to say you're trying to get their opinion or tell them they can, to see if the person is right for you, but you're doing it out of respect. You're doing it out of respect for your child, you're doing it out of respect for yourself, and you're doing it out of respect for the father of your child. So you know who you're dealing with.
Okay, let me...
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I just definitely wanted to chime in and jump off of... some of the stuff that you were saying. So hold your thought, what you're saying right there. I'm gonna chime in on this, and then I'm gonna give the floor back to you. So basically, everything that she's saying is valid and true, and it goes back to what I was saying earlier in the video, where it's like, okay, just because that's the way that it has been does not mean it's the way that it should be. You have to understand, in this society, we've been programmed to fail. So everything that you've been taught is normal, is right, is okay, disregard it. Disregard it, and you need to relearn what is going on. So people will shun you for having a healthy relationship with somebody, telling you it's supposed to be a different way. They want you to do it wrong because they've been doing it wrong, and they want that to continue. And that's not the way how it is. It doesn't have to be unhealthy. And it goes back to saying what I was saying earlier in the video, just because we didn't work out in a relationship, does that mean I hate you? Does that mean I can't stand you? We can't get along for nothing? If that's the case, it was never love in the first place, because love is unconditional. Love is unconditional. So regardless if me and so didn't work out together in a relationship, that doesn't mean you hate that person. That doesn't mean you have to not contact that person anymore. I love you enough to know that I want, what's best for you. I want what's best for you. I don't want any harm to come to you. So the same things that I wanted for you in a relationship are the same things that I want for you outside the relationship. But I have respect and honor for myself. So I love myself enough to know that we don't work together. That is okay. That is a mature thing, decision to make. That is a mature decision to make. So me understanding that and us coming to the conclusion, it doesn't mean we hate each other. If it was real love, we still gonna love each other. We just don't have to deal with each other. Love is the only thing free. Everything else requires something. My presence requires something. If you cannot give me the things that I need to bless you with my presence, then I don't have to give you my presence, or I don't have to give you that access to me anymore. That doesn't mean I can't love and want what's best for you. And the thing that is so beautiful about me and Louisa's relationship is we were two very like-minded people. So we know we want what's best for our children regardless, right? Okay, so what's best for our children, we felt like, is a relationship with their siblings. We wanted their relationship to be strong. And Louisa was actually the one who approached me. So it worked out so beautifully and so seamlessly. Once we met each other and we vibed with each other, it was authentic and it was real. I tell her I love her, she tell me she loved me. It's a love relationship. Because at the end of the day, once you have a child with someone, regardless if y'all stay together or not, that is your family. Do you understand? That is your family. So my child father, we not together. That is my family, because we have family together. And so if something happens to him, guess who that will hurt? My child. My child is my family. So I want what's best for his father or her father. I want what's best for them, because I don't want my child to hurt. And once you get that in your mind, that just because it didn't work out doesn't mean we have to hate each other. And just because we don't get along doesn't mean we have to show our child that side of us. Just because he have a child with somebody else doesn't mean I have to dislike her. Y'all being taught that and disliking and hating other people who, if you got a chance to know them as a person, you might actually like them. You might actually love them. That could be one of your closest friends on this earth. But because y'all dealt with someone in common and y'all have children in common, now you hate them. It doesn't make sense. And we've been programmed the wrong way. It does not matter, who you are. If you are black, you are my people. You are my family. I love you. It is unity between us. It doesn't matter if we've been together in the past. I love you. It is unity between us. When we have the same thing in mind, which is better for our community and better for our children, then people will start coming together more. But it's a lot of self-centeredness. There's a lot of selfishness. And you can't be selfish. You have to be selfless, right? So when you start thinking with logic and what's best for me, what's best for the next generation, what's best for my children, then you will start to move a little different. But that goes back to you having to heal yourself and deal with some of the traumas that you've been through. A lot of people, it's a reason for how they act like how they act. Oh, she might have cheated. He might have cheated. That's why I don't trust him around another woman. You have to understand that what's done in the dark is going to come to light. And if he cheats with another woman, then that's probably a blessing to you. That is probably a blessing to you. Now, what are you going to do? Are you going to mistreat yourself and mishandle yourself by staying and dealing with it? Or are you going to let him go to find what you truly deserve? You know, and that's not in every relationship, because some relationships allow different things. But if that's one of the things that you know is a, you know, an end all be all for you, are you really going to end it all and move on, or are you going to huff and puff and make a fit about it and then still accept it? It's like it's been pushed on us to become so toxic that we can't deal with people of the other sex because of insecurities, or people we can't deal with. You know, we can't. A woman can't have male friends, or a male can't have woman friends. You have to know yourself and respect yourself. I'm not. When you're in a relationship, you're not there to control them. I don't want to control no one. I want to be able to trust who I'm with to encounter a female of the opposite sex, because you're going to do that in life. This is life. It's not fairy tale land. You're going to have to come in contact with these people. Do you love yourself enough to respect yourself? And do you love me enough to respect our relationship? That is what it has to boil down to. You can't control somebody because they're going to be out of your sight at some point in time. At some point in time, they're going to be out of your sight. You have to start building healthy boundaries, and you have to start building healthy routines and healthy, you know, what word am I trying to say? Healthy norms. Healthy relationships, yes, and healthy norms, right? Because the norm right now is to be toxic. The norm right now is to be hateful. The norm right now is to be divided. That's not what we're about. So now we have to start deconstructing that, destroying that, and all the beliefs and all that comes with it, and building new healthy norms for ourselves. It is okay to get along with your child father, regardless if you're not together or not, regardless of what he did. He might have did you wrong and hurt you so bad, but guess what? Self-reflect, because you chose him. You chose him, and you probably ignored a bunch of signs. She might have did you so wrong. She might have cheated, and she was a whore, and this and that. Self-reflect, because you chose her. You chose her, and you probably ignored some signs too. So, that being said, what's done is done. It doesn't matter what has happened. It doesn't matter what should have happened. What is now, you have to make the best of it so that you could come up with the best possible outcome. I did not plan to have children with someone who I was not going to be with. I chose who I dealt with. They chose to do what they did. I chose to react how I react, or I chose to do what I did. They chose to react however it may go. It's not about who was wrong. It's not about who was wrong and why things are the way they are. It's about coming up with the best possible solution. So no, this is not ideal for me. It's not ideal for her. It's not ideal for, it might not be ideal for you or them or whoever. But are you going to harp? Are you going to fuss and cry about spilled milk? Or are you going to focus on creating the best possible outcome? When you have children with somebody, that is your family. And people have to understand that. And when you love somebody, you do not hate them. If you've loved them, you do not hate them. You do not do hate-filled stuff towards them. Otherwise, it was not love. That's what y'all have to understand. So you have to start placing these words appropriately, because so many times you get in a relationship and you love somebody, and now you out of that relationship and you hating them and you wishing death and you wishing harm on them. You misspoke, because if you feel that way, then it was not love.
I agree. I completely agree. There's no hate and love. It doesn't coincide with each other. Like, I think people get that mixed up too, where it's a love relationship, you can't love and hate someone at the same time. It's just impossible. It's just impossible to love and hate someone at the same time. It just doesn't go together. There's nothing, when you look up the word love, there's nothing that in that definition that has anything to do with hatred, resentment, jealousy, insecurity. None of that defines love. None of it.
Possessiveness. Possessiveness. That doesn't define love. Because you have to understand that you don't own no one on this earth. So everybody in this earth have the right to do what they want to do. And you should encourage them to do what you want to do. Do what's best for you. Look. Do what's best for you, because I'm going to do what's best for me. All right? So I don't want to hold you back. I don't want to come in between nothing that your heart may desire. Do what is best for you. And if it coincides with what is best for me, then we will be, and it will be peace, and it will be harmony. And if it does not, I will not subject myself to anything that does not meet my standards. I will not mistreat myself by allowing you to mishandle me. So possessiveness is not a part of love. You mine. You can't do this. You can't wear that. Control. That's not love. A woman get into a relationship with a man who has had a female best friend for 15 years, 20 years. You can't talk to her no more because I'm insecure. That's not love. If that person is good for you and helps you thrive and makes you feel good, by all means, be friends with that person. If you disrespect me and our relationship by doing that, then it is up to me to respect myself enough to move around. It is up to me to handle myself properly when someone is mishandling me. Am I going to allow it? Am I going to stand for it? Am I stay and stick around? You can't blame people for those things. You can't blame people for doing what's best for them and what feels good for them. You encourage it. Encourage it. I want you to feel good. I definitely do. And that's love for real. I want you to do what's best for you. That is true love. I want you to do what makes you happy. Not, I don't get my way with you and now I could care less. I don't get what I want and now it's F you and everybody who came with you. That's not love. That's toxicity, and we've been programmed to think that way, and we have to stop. And we have to teach our children something totally different. So now, Louisa, when our children grow up, you know what they're going to say? Hopefully they won't be in a situation where they have to raise children in broken homes. Hopefully that will not be the situation. But if it ever does occur that way, because they have seen the new norm that we have made and told them that this is okay, then it's going to be love and it's going to be healthy. You have to raise the children up not in the way how you was raised up, but then the way you wish you was raised up.
You gotta want better. We gotta want better for our future. Like that's another thing we've been programmed. Like, well, I went through it. Why can't they go through it? Mm-hmm. You know, or that's how my mom did it. Why can't I do it like this? Because you know better. When you know better, you do better. Mm-hmm. You know, we can't. It's like to do this. What do they call insanity? To keep doing the same thing over and over to expect a different outcome. That's insane. So you're gonna keep perpetuating your generational curses and expect something different to come out of it. That's crazy.
Yeah, I said. You know, I'm sorry. I said that earlier in the video. I said if you had to heal from it, then why would you want your children to go through the same thing? Go ahead. I just wanted to bring it back to that because it's like you touching on points that I've already spoke on. So I just wanted to tie that back into that. But go ahead with your thoughts.
Yeah, so we have to stop that. So we have to want better for our future. And with the and we have to, like you said, self-reflect when we get into these toxic relationships, or we have even it's not just an intimate relationship. It could be friendships that are toxic. You know, toxicity don't just come with your partner or someone you're dealing with intimately, but it also comes in friendship, sometimes work relationships. Toxicity comes from any type of relationship. So we have to realize and see what draws these toxic people to me. Because sometimes it be something on the inside of us that draws them to us that we haven't dealt with, that we haven't healed from. So we have to learn to heal ourselves. You can't. It's impossible. It's impossible to love someone if you don't love yourself. It's impossible to put someone first if you don't put yourself first. You know. And I'm a strong believer in treat people the way you would like to be treated, because I believe in karma. I believe that energy that I put out will come around, and I experience it myself. So I really stand firm on it. I try to treat people how I would like to be treated, because at the end of the day, in a relationship, whatever type of relationship, friendship, intimacy, work relationships, school relationships. I try to treat people the way I want to be treated, because I don't want it to come back on me in a negative way, and I don't want to be treated that way. So how am I going to treat someone maliciously, or talk down to somebody, or make someone feel insecure about their choices, and then uphold my ways? You know, that's similar to theirs. It's just like the Bible says, like before you take the thorn out of someone else's eye, take the stick out of yours. Because in the midst of you trying to take the thorn out your eye, you're poking the person in their eye. So how well are you? How healthy are you? You know, we have to start really doing self-care. And that's emotionally, physically, mentally. We have to take care of ourselves, and we have to take care of our youth, so we can have more unity, more peace amongst our youth, where these generational curses are not happening. Like, I realize amongst, when we come together as a people, as black people, when we unite, in black love, black power, they fear it. So it all they can do is come in and divide. You know, if they come and they divide and say, "Oh, why are you over here talking to this person?" Now you done divided them. It's easy to conquer people when they're divided than if they're united. So, I'm gonna leave it on that note, but I really feel like we have to start self-reflecting to build a better community, and to love ourselves so we can love others.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And it's funny because some of the stuff that you spoke on most of it is really the same thing that I was saying earlier in the video. Like, especially, you can't love someone else if you don't love yourself, and self-healing, self-care, and all that stuff. So it makes sense. And I want to thank you so much for chiming in.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And like I said, man, black love, black unity, peace amongst our people. Like, that's what we need to do. We need to change the narrative. We need to change the narrative from black on black crime to black on black love. We really do. That's in all types of relationships. Who you're intimate with. Black men, you need to support the black woman. Black woman, we need to support the black man. It's no I in team. It's no I in team.
And we need to hold each other accountable.
Oh, yes. And we do. We need to hold each other accountable, because at the end of the day, that's love too. Like, when we allow, I tell my son all the time, if I allowed you to do whatever you wanted to do, I can't love you, because if I allow you to say, Mom, I'm going to go touch that fire, and not warn you and say, if you touch that fire, it's going to be hot, that's not love. We have to learn, we have to stop that toxicity, especially amongst the Black community, that we can't correct our kids or correct them in a positive manner. We'll push the negative, or teach our kids how to curse, or teach our kids how to, do certain stuff that they that they shouldn't be exposed to. But then try to chastise them when they start exploring these behaviors, start reenacting these behaviors. We have to change self to help our youth.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
But I really do appreciate y'all having me. I love you, Christian. I love the boys, and I hope next time I could be on there again.
Yeah, we definitely gonna have you soon, because we have some of the most amazing conversations, and it's just so much intelligence. And this is what I'm for. I'm for women speaking their truth. I'm for women finding their power and doing it. So, because once you find your power, then you could spread it, and I know they like to say that it's a man's world and all that stuff, but a woman relinquishes her power to a man. That is submission. When you give your power to him to decide, to choose, and all this stuff, and it doesn't mean that you are silenced. Your voice and your opinion matters. That your voice and your opinion matters. And just because you follow someone else, that doesn't mean close your eyes and follow blindly. That means pay attention, protect, and see things from your point of view, because you might see something else that he don't see, and you will be able to help him, So I thank you so much, Louisa. I love you too. I'll definitely be having you on soon, and hopefully next time it'll be in person. And we just gonna continue to do what's good for us, our community, and our family.
Most definitely. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you.
So yeah, it all makes so much sense. And once we start to self-reflect, and love ourselves, respect ourselves, then these other things will come more naturally to us. Just because you've been taught and programmed a certain way does not mean that it's right. It does not mean that it's right. And it's up to you to do better for you, your family, your community. It's up to you to break generational curses. It's up to you. You have to take your powers into your own hands. So fellas, we love you, we respect you, we think highly of you. We need you to rise to that. Women, we love you, we respect you, we need you to rise to that. We're not here to tear each other down. We're not here to hate each other. And just because somebody corrects you doesn't mean they tearing you down. If somebody corrects you, it's because they want better for you, right? So fellas, if your lady's holding you accountable, or ladies, if your man holding you accountable for the things that you're doing, they want better for you. And you should rise to that, because you should want better for yourself. So I'm going to end this video here. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to the OK Ladies channel. And make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit me up, comment. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Definitely email me and tell me or comment down below about topics that you would like to hear me speak about. I got so much more. I'm going to be more consistent with my videos now. And thank you for the support. And I just want you guys to come together and spread love. And, just spread positivity, spread love. You never know how your story and how your voice could touch the next person. So don't be muted. That's all for now. Talk to you later.